Fake guru panics and lies after getting exposed in new interview. Yo, this Dr. Cheyenne chick, I'm not too familiar with her. I did a reaction on her a couple videos back. But yeah, she's one hell of a character. I'll say that, you know, to be light with it. Let's not waste no time. Get to the video.
The Breakfast Club just exposed Cheyenne Bryant and ruined her life again. They already ruined her life during the first interview, but they just brought somebody else on to expose her further. Before we get the video started, this video is right now and make money by could ever making your online rumors that she's been lying about being a doctor and that she's a fraud. And they gave her enough rope to hang her career, while at the same time simultaneously manipulating her into thinking they believe what she was saying.
The conversation about your doctorate because people can't find your dissertation online. Mm-hmm. How are you responding to that in this new era of your life?
I'm going to clear it up once on here. I'm not doing it again. And I'm clearing it up for my doc squad, for my fan base, for my audience who deserve to hear me address it. For the folks who have already made up their mind to not like me or not understand me, listen, I don't give a fuck what your narrative is. I would like for you to recreate it, double down on it, and run that shit. Because I don't give a fuck about it. Now, to my doc squad, my fan base, my folks, you know, my village, it's very simple. I went to a school, Argosy University, completed an entire program. I went back online to get my official transcripts because I was applying to a law school many years ago to be a professor there. And I had to provide my transcripts, right?
And yet, is she doing any work that's in line with the degree that she has? That's what I really want to know. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you doing anything in alignment with your degree, or is that just something for you to have on paper? Just curious, you know?
Get hired. And I went to contact the school and say, hey, I need my official transcripts. I need my entire thing. And there was no school. I was like, okay, I'm confused. I Google. It says this school has been shut down. I said, oh, well, they got to have records. I mean, they were accredited when I attended the school.
Now the school shut
down,
really? They were accredited
when I finished the program. I go and look, there is a third party that has the records. Where I contact the third party, that third party only holds records for 2 years. I was past my 2 years. So that means that I had no access to records. And then I contacted, financial aid. You can't make up financial aid. It shows that I paid for a doctoral program alongside my master's program and my undergrad program. And they said, we can fully refund you your money under one circumstance. We give you your money back. You don't get credit for not a class, a course, a program you took in this university, at this institute. So do you want us to refund you? Or do you want us not? I said no.
Nobody with a brain believed that story. There are people coming out who attended the same school that she quote unquote like can't receive her records from, and they've said, yo, Parchment holds over the records for her school as well as for other schools. There is no 2-year limit. This is such a blatant lie. Right. So people who have actually attended the school is telling us she's lying. Like, you could obtain your record even though the school has closed down. And even that elaborate story about federal student aid, offering to refund her money, that's the discharge program. You only qualify for the discharge program if you withdrew from the school or you were still currently attending the school. The discharge program does not apply to people who completed a degree, because obviously you completed the degree. Why would they refund you the money? Right? So even her story proves that she's lying, because if you actually graduated with your doctorate, you wouldn't qualify for the discharge program. You qualify for the discharge program because you didn't.
You know what, yo, this honestly reminds me of that kid that ended up catching jail time because he was posing as a doctor. I'm sure y'all remember him, the black kid, had the mohawk. I don't know his name, it slips me. But this is what this situation reminds me of, except she was actually able to garner attention or whatever, telling people that she has a degree. But you could tell that's bullshit.
Finished the degree. So, like, the Breakfast Club, like, ruined her life, man. Like everybody now sees her for a fraud. Nobody believes her story. There's a Cheyenne Bryant, like challenge going on TikTok right now. And these women are absolutely cooking her.
Let me tell you, porch monkey, something. You darkies, you'll never understand, because as a psychology expert with licensure, but I don't have the licensure because you only need that to diagnose. And I went to the university, and then I was applying to be a professor at the law school as a PhD holder, my doctoral. Now, as I was getting my doctoral, I came back around. I didn't have the transcripts, but the dissertation, and then at that time I said therapy. And see, what you don't understand is you don't have to have licensure as a therapist for diagnoses, because I'm a life coach. And as a psychology expert, what some people are never going to understand about me is when I came back to do that doctoral, and the doctoral of it all, the summation at the end of the day, they're going to never understand.
Okay, I'm going to
a bunch of word salad.
one time and one time only, never again. I'm a doctor because I say I am. I'm going to break it down for you because I know there's a lot of people in your community that don't quite comprehend the things that I'm speaking. I am psychologizing a lot of people with my knowledge and my knowledge alone. The reason I don't work within a licensure is because it would require me to diagnose you with bipolar schizophrenia. Do you want bipolar schizophrenia? That's what I thought. I was a part of a doctorology program. I completed the program, and then the school burnt down, okay?
Yo, people
it burned down.
Absolutely
this
fraud. Continue to cook this fraud.
Yeah.
Now, she thought it was a good idea while being in the storm to continue the media run. Now, before we even get to what the Breakfast Club did today to expose her and to further ruin her life, let's take a look at what she did to further ruin her life today. So she did an interview, and they brought up the subject of this fake doctorate that she has, right? And when they brought it up, she just made things worse for herself, man. I don't know what it is. We could just sense a liar and somebody being, deceiving us, right? So they asked her about this, and her explanation also went viral today because her explanation just made things. It's probably even worse than the first explanation. Here's what she has to say. Disclaimer, whenever you hear somebody bring up God when trying to rebuttal a lie, they are lying.
You're a motivator for many people, and oftentimes when you have that role, that moniker, you're the strong friend.
Yeah.
So I got to check in on strong friends. I want to check in with you because you've gone viral recently. People questioning your credentials, whether you should even be giving advice that you're giving. How are you doing, particularly within the last few days?
Thank you for asking that. I love that. I'm actually doing really good. I don't know a person who has received this amount of free marketing. It couldn't have happened in a better time for my book that just, launched a couple days ago. And within 24 hours, we made the bestsellers list, not only for print, but for the ebook. And so that's very exciting. Also, I know a couple of things. There's promises that God has for us. He says that all, not some, all.
I'm telling you, her and Jada Pinkett were built in the same factory. They're from the same toy maker, same factory, same blueprint, everything, because I swear that's who I'm getting when I watch this part of this video. Like, she's very much giving Jada Pinkett, like, you know what I mean? But just a little bit more raunchy. Like, I don't give a shit. But she's probably not going to say that on this because this is a more polished situation. So she's not going to get crazy like that. But yeah, her, Jada Pinkett, same toy maker.
Things are working for your good. He also says that not to get weary in well-doing. And he says that I give you much territory, and your job is to possess it, and my job as God is to protect it. I protect what I give you. And so when territory is expanded, God says that the cross gets heavier. And if you cannot carry a heavy cross for the expansion of the territory I gave you, then guess what? Maybe you're not ready, because to whom much is given, much is required. And so it's important.
Oh my God, here we go. And I know I'm using the word God, but this word salad, and you ever notice that with people? I notice this is Fox. You ever notice that with these people, they always want to insert the Lord into their BS. You know you're a bullshitter. You know that. And this book probably is bullshit as well, but you're selling it. And people always want to bring in God in order to justify what they're doing because they use that as a protective shield. Like, you can't say anything bad about me or anything I'm doing because God got me. Yo, you live on earth, okay? And you live in a country that is ran and operated by humans that make laws. and tell you what you can and can't do. So please miss me with all of that, yo.
For people who are in service, in leadership positions, to not personalize, right? When you have folks who come in and attempt to crucify what you have going on, because your job is to not get weary in your service. And I'll land on this. My obedience is to God.
First red flag, man. You bring up God in this situation, you are a charlatan. But she thought she had a friend in this lady. Like, she thought the lady was gonna, like, take whatever she says as the answer and then move forward. But nah, this lady is very skilled at what she does, okay? So she rebuttals.
It was a setup.
She says, yo, I'm a journalist. I can prove I'm a journalist in 5 seconds. Here's my degrees, 2 degrees. Cheyenne Bryant then goes on the entire spiel. The lady then follows back and cooks her and says, okay, if you can't prove it, then why don't you just take the doctor from out your name until you prove it, which I think is a fair solution. Dr. Cheyenne Bryant did not like that, man. And what followed through was them both with some light shade and heavy passive aggressiveness towards each other.
Not to people. And so as long as I'm in his will and I'm serving and I'm doing his his word, my sheep will know my voice. Even the sheep in wolf clothing. That is not my battle.
Well,
that's
with the
his.
questions that are out there, why not provide the proof of your degree? Why not?
Well, a couple of things, right? I have multiple degrees, and my thing is that
Sure,
my
you do.
proof isn't something that I have to prove to individuals. My proof is already within my credentials, my degrees, and also more than just my titles, it's in how effective I've been. All of my sessions have been live for the most part.
So basically what she's saying to us, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's all fabricated. It's all make-believe in her mind. You can't tell me what I'm not, because I made up this fairy tale life for myself. I don't have to go to the white man's schools to get these credentials. I made it all up and I believe it. So now you should believe it. I don't have to show you proof. Okay. Until you have to go out here and you're trying to actually diagnose people, which you are not going to do because you actually have to have that proof. But for the sake of making a book, you could say whatever the hell you want to say. Nobody can come and, arrest you or anything like that for making, false, telling false lies or whatever about what it is that you do. Now, if you started trying to make money with this practice, you're going to have problems, but you're not trying to do that. You just want to sell some books. You're just trying to make some money. You're like, look, I can't do OnlyFans or anything like that. And so this is what I got to do to make money because I have some sophistication and self-respect. So I'm going to sell a book.
My sessions with Nick Cannon, Cam Newton, Shannon Sharp, B. Simone, they have all been for the world to see, right? So no one knew who Dr. Bryant was prior to seeing all of my sessions that were live. And they deemed it, as well as I did before they did it, they can't validate me, I validated it myself, they deemed it as my work being effective. I am effective at what I do. I'm educated and I'm successful in my lane, and I'll land on this. I created my own lane. And so a lot of times, Marissa, when people see that you created something that maybe they couldn't, admiration turns into envy. And you got to be okay. And you got to be okay with that in that space.
Attack, but I think, and I've gotten this question from many viewers, and I owe it to them in service to them. Why not drop doctor from your name if you cannot bring forth the doctoral degree?
So I've already covered this, right? And we're here obviously to talk about my new book. So I've earned the title. I have multiple degrees, and I'm not going to prove anything to anybody. And we're going to leave it just as that. Yeah.
Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Baby, Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
And that's where, and you're standing by that.
Standing by it. Yeah, because I earned it. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you. I know you're going to hang around and
I want to thank you for asking the hard question. I appreciate
that was like a low end, like
2 degrees
slap, like.
And so I had 2.
Come on.
Yes, Northwestern and Emory University. So I had to make sure I display that.
Yo, you could look at the look she's giving this fraud. Like, yeah, like 2 degrees. Like, I'm a journalist. I had to display that. I'm a journalist. Yo,
she didn't like that.
Bro, cancel the press tour, man, and keep it. Just cancel it all, bro. You have been exposed, and people are seeing right through you. Now, the Breakfast Club, being as slime bally as they are, they played nice in her face, made it seem like they agreed with her. The moment she gets
and then they flipped it on her.
The moment she's in the current fire, right, in the storm, they go to invite somebody on to expose her. Now, I'm gonna give Charlamagne credit. Charlamagne was not there. If Charlamagne was there, I believe 100% Charlamagne the God would have called her to the carpet right then and there, right? Because Charlamagne, to me, ain't scared.
That might have been why he
Everybody
wasn't there, because they know he was
they
going to really
brought
call
on
her out.
Another person to do what I guess they were too scared to do when she was there.
We're in an era where social media has turned a lot of people into mental health influence.
For sure.
How important is licensing when somebody is giving, relationship or trauma advice to millions of people?
I personally find it important to be licensed. For myself, it's important because it makes sure that I'm ethically sound.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that people are safe around me. Make sure that I'm continuing all my education credits. Make sure that I'm getting all the training. Because it's one thing, we got a lot of therapeutic language being slang about people calling you gaslighter and narcissist. And we got all the words, but people don't really know what happens next in terms of healing.
Did you see our interview with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant?
I saw clips.
Okay. So when we were getting ready for that interview, I called one of my friends. Her name is Dr. Shonda Reynolds. And she was saying that to me because I was mentioning...
Paige and Dr. Shonda?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the homie. Come on now.
That's my sister. Like, we went to high school together, like all of that. But yeah, she helped me prep for that interview because there was so many different things that you have to go through.
It's very nuanced.
The conversation we're having with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant takes away from the conversation we should be having about the real issues that some people have getting licensed. And I know you're licensed as a therapist, so I don't know if you have anything that you've experienced when you were going through your process.
Not anything to that extent, but licensure is incredibly challenging to get through. I don't think people understand how much schooling, how many hours of
and she probably didn't do any of that.
You have to undergo, and then the test itself is difficult, and then the licensing board, and then you have to sit for a certain number of direct and indirect hours, which means a therapist who is more experienced than you sits in with you every week, and you talk about your sessions.
Yeah.
What went well, what didn't go well. And it could be challenging for a number of reasons, because sometimes you can only, you rise to the level of your help. If you don't have incredible supervision, it's going to dictate how thorough and how effective you are as a therapist in the long run.
Imagine putting in all that work to actually be licensed and actually
they
be
was
a
trying to
doctor,
basically
just
make a
for
point
a
there.
charlatan and a grifter like Cheyenne Bryant to come along and start calling herself a doctor. Everything he says is on par and is correct, bruh. Right? It's an insult to people who actually do the work. Cheyenne Bryant learned words like gaslighting and narcissist and thought she had like enough knowledge and ability to actually like give therapy sessions to people, and she doesn't. And she's being caught out on it, bro. Now, I do think what the Breakfast Club did is kind of, it's kind of slimy. She was in front of y'all. Y'all had the opportunity to call her out. Bringing somebody else on to call.
They probably didn't do that because they know that she was going to definitely like come with that energy. She was going to be like, nah, I'm not, I don't have to do that. I don't have to do this. So they just like, we're just going to play it cool, but we're going to have a real licensed doctor come up here and tell us what the real is, like what you actually have to do. That's all it was.
Call her out. Like, it's nasty work, man. But again, I still agree with what they did, though. But y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think, man. Y'all believe Cheyenne Bryant, or y'all feel like she's a grifter and a charlatan just like...
Yeah, she's a grifter, a charlatan, all that good stuff, scammer and whatnot. And she's passing it off as being a doctor now. We got to get her up out of here, and then we got to get Mr. Umar next. You know what I'm saying? But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Make sure you check the like button, take the subway, and be sure to sound off in the comments so they kick y'all up out of there. That being said, it's your boy Robbie. Till next video, we gone.